Hello everyone, and welcome to CIS Mini Lessons. Today we're going to be talking about CSS and the application of styles. Specifically, we're going to be talking about where and how you can actually apply styles directly to your HTML. So on the left side of our screen, we have just a mock-up of an HTML doc. And on the right side of the screen, we've got our CSS coding and our HTML coding. What I'd like to start with is our CSS in an external style sheet. So one of the ways that we can apply styles with CSS is through external style sheets. And this external style sheet, as we can see the title up in the tab here, is called styles.css. And we always have to use a .css extension for any type of an external style sheet, excuse me. Furthermore, what we can see here is that within this external style sheet, we have each different grouping here. And these different groupings are essentially groupings of selectors that will have specific style rules that will go with them. So the selectors are going to be these references that are in yellow that are going to be essentially referencing different elements within the HTML page or HTML document. And then we also have each one of these lines that's inside of the selector body or CSS body is going to be your property value pairs. They'll be separated with a colon, and each property value pair ends with a semicolon. Okay, now the point here, the purpose is to show that we have these different styles that are going to move down the page. And as we keep on going down, we see more and more styles. And this is where we kind of have the idea or the concept of the cascade, so the C of CSS. And the cascade is going to show that we're going to start with certain styles for certain selectors, and as we move down the down our CSS and we continue to render and process these different styles, should a certain selector be used more than once and a certain property be used more than once for that style, then the cascade is going to dictate that the last property value pair for a selector will be the one that's rendered directly to your HTML. Okay. Now the way that we actually connect our CSS directly to our HTML page is by using a link element, and we'll have a rel attribute, relationship attribute, and that's the relationship between the two documents, the HTML document and the CSS. And then we'll have an href, which is a hyperlink reference to our styles.css. Now, if we want to, or I should say before getting into the embedded styles, the main reason you would want to use external styles is so that you have the versatility of being able to bring your styles from one HTML page to another without the hassle of having to copy paste each time. However, there are times where maybe you want to use some type of an internal style that's specific to your HTML page, but it doesn't have to necessarily be specific to each one of your pages. So therefore, you might want to use an internal style, something like this, which is going to be an embedded style, I should say. I'm using those interchangeably. We have this style element, and it can be used in the head or in the body. And this element is going to take in information, or the same way as we would use in the external style sheet, where we'll have our selector, and then we'll have our style rules that are inside. And something I'll point out, which is I do have a style rule for HTML that's using font family on the in my external, and then I have it again, another font family property with different values. And this is where the cascade is coming in. This one that's inside the HTML document is taking precedence. if I were to get rid of this for just a second, and I comment that out, we're going to see that our styles all change. So this is, just an example of where the cascade comes in. So, and it's just an example of a type of styling that you may want to do on an individual basis. Something might, that you might want to use on an individual basis might be a font styling, for a specific page. So, and then lastly, what we have is inline styles, which comes simply like this, where you just go directly to the HTML element. You will put a style attribute in the opening tag, if there is an opening tag, or otherwise just inside the element, and you just use your style rules, a property value pair, and you can use multiple if you like. And now this is obviously going to be the easiest way to apply style directly to an element, but it's also the most difficult to try and manipulate later on. So should you desire to have CSS that you want to utilize for other pages, or you want to easily kind of change something up, this one would be typically the most difficult to work with. So in a nutshell, this is how you would apply styles to CSS. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope that you are able to come back for more of our mini lessons. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.